Well, hello everyone, I'm Postmaster Radio, and welcome back to Ujokes Weekly. This is the official podcast highlighting Jonathan Mangum's virtual comedy show, Ujokes, where comedians and you guys and gals on YouTube and Facebook all compete for the best joke. It is comedy gold at your fingertips. Now, it is time to bring on the funny, but not with a new Ujokes show, at least not yet. As some of you may know already, Ujokes has been on a hiatus for the past few weeks. New episodes are luckily coming back very soon. Ujokes will return on YouTube and Facebook at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific on Monday, November 30th via YouTube and Facebook, which I'm really excited about. But in the meantime, something that we didn't do recently was take a look back on the very best of Ujokes Series 2, as Jonathan called it, from episodes 21 through 50, with episode 50, of course, being the Ujokes all-audience show in honor of said amazing milestone. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look back at 5 of my favorite comedians from that recent batch of Ujokes shows, excluding Bill Codd and John Lair from episode 51, as that show, I think, technically would be the start of a new season, because, new games, new graphics. Even Jonathan said it for that episode 51, so we will ignore that show, but all the other ones prior from episodes 21 through 50 have been considered. So 5 of my favorite comedians, and also, I can't forget about you guys, 5 of my favorite jokes from the Ujokes audience. That's going to be a real treat for you guys, I hope. Oh, and before we get started, a couple of quick reminders that, first of all, if you missed the John Lair and Bill Codd show I mentioned, please catch up now via the podcast link in the description. Also, you know that with Ujokes Weekly, you can check out podcasts on Spreaker, Spotify, and YouTube, but as of Monday, November 23rd, Ujokes Weekly is now available on iHeartRadio. If you do not have the app already, please download it today in the App Store to listen from your phone, iPad, or any other mobile device. Or you can also go to iHeart.ca. But anyway, without further ado, let's get ready for that Ujokes flashback, if you would. And we're going to do this by rank. Okay, so when I say spot number 5, I will be talking about both the comedian and audience jokes countdown simultaneously. Okay, so let's begin with spot number 5 for the comedian countdown, and it happens to be for Brad Sherwood, whose birthday it is today, and I want to give him a quick shout out because of that. One of my favorite jokes from his show was in a game called What Is This a Commercial For? And for the pick of a lady who appears to be eating a bite-sized man, I believe. Brad Sherwood had a really good joke for that one. Dude, pockets. And he even sang it during that one, which, really sold it for me. So great joke from Brad. Now, that's my 5th favorite joke from Series 2 on the comedian side. On the audience side of things, however, I have to give a quick shout out to April Kerr. This is for the pick, and I think we mentioned this one before as well, for the pick of what appears to be a hospital, but for pigs. Henceforth, April's joke, General Hogspital. Oh my god, that one just cracked me up. So that's for the 5th rank. Now let's move on to spot number 4. My 4th favorite joke from the Ujokes comedians for Series 2 happens to be from Sci-Fi's very own Aaron Douglas. Now, he was up against Connor Trenier in the Sci-Fi show, and this is for a sci-fi game called Space Dance. Based on the picture shown, Aaron Douglas, Connor Trenier, and everyone else playing had to come up with a good dance name, which in this case was for the picture of an android who appears to be doing ballet. I do want to give myself an honorable shout out because I did like my joke with Romeo and Juliet, the Tin Can. Although, admittingly, Aaron Douglas, he definitely beat me out with this one, and honestly, it was a great joke to be the winning joke for that game, the Bolts and Nutcracker Suite, which, again, comedy gold. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, for my 4th favorite joke from Team Audience, this one is going to go to Jess S., who dominated quite a bit during Ujokes Series 2, and pretty much Ujokes as a whole, but especially episode 50. And long story short, this was where all of the audience members, a lot of the audience members anyway, this was all about them. Not Jonathan's famous friends, but literally someone on YouTube, someone on Facebook, all battling it out for the best possible laughs. And one of Jess's best jokes from that night came during a game of Happy Hour with, you may remember this one, the picture of Santa having a drink. And Jess's joke, this was a really great one, pure alcohol, and it was called Let's Get Blitzened. Yeah, so that was a great joke there, and I'm not just saying that now because, well, we're getting very close to the Christmas holidays, like a month away at this point. But yeah, really great joke, I would think anyway, to use as a way of getting in the festive spirit. Now back to the comedian top 5. Spot number 3 goes to Colinmochre's wife, debramcgrath. And in case you're wondering, wait, I'm not coming back to Colin? Well, don't worry, because I am in a couple of minutes. But right now, let's zero in on Deborah's joke. At the start of her and Colin's Ujokes show for a game called Name the Movie, you may remember the picture of a lady and a man with umbrellas fighting each other during a major storm. Deborah, oh my god, seriously, how do these comedians even do this sort of thing? I mean, I probably would have been staring at this pic for a million years and not have come up with this one.
Well, it's a very intense, sexy kind of, spy flick called Killer Storm. Raindrops keep falling till you're dead.
Oh, yes! Raindrops keep falling till you're dead. That is a good one.
Yeah, really nice one, Deborah. We'll come back to Colin in just a second, but first, let's go back to the audience countdown, reaching the top 3 portion of that countdown for spot numero 3, and this goes to Randy Ferguson. During a game called Name the Movie, there was a pic of a guy mowing another guy's facial hair, if that makes any sense. Like, you'd have to go back to episode 46 and see that pic for yourself. But anyway, this was Randy's joke, and no way could there be a better one, shaving Private Ryan. And I kind of am a little bit annoyed, even still, at having to mention this joke, because don't get me wrong, like 99% of me is saying, oh my god, that's a great joke. But then there's still that 1% of me that's like, damn it, I was this close to thinking of that joke. How did it not come to me sooner? Which, yeah. But seriously, Randy, if you're listening, don't let my jealousy fool you. That was an amazing joke. Moving on to spot number 2 on the comedians countdown. Here's where we get to Colinmochrie for a game called Caption This. And this was for the picture of, you guessed it, a chicken eating chicken. And just in case you haven't seen that Ujokes show, I gotta warn you from now, some of you Looney Tunes fans may not be fans of this joke, but that being said, 10 out of 10 for Colin.
Things take a macabre turn at the Foghorn Leghorn funeral.
And this is coming from a guy who's been on a show where the points do not matter. Well, in Ujokes territory, of course, the points do matter, and what a great time to matter for Colinmochrie. Congrats, what a great joke you had. My second favorite joke from Team Audience goes back to Ujokes' 50th episode spectacular, the all-audience show for the lovely David Willis in a game of You Got to Be Crazy. Remember the pic of the lady who lets one rip while doing yoga? Well, you may also remember then this pretty lengthy joke. Not that it's too long for my liking, it was still a really funny joke. But just in case, you might want to get a bowl of popcorn while you're listening to this one.
This picture won the Pulitzer Prize in photography.
Oh.
So it was either this or a picture of scientists discovering the Higgs boson particle. And it went with this. I think that was the right decision.
Right.
I don't know if you know this, but yoga poses have 2 names. They have the original Hindi name and the Americanized version.
Yep.
The Hindi name for this is a version of downward facing dog. It's called upward facing colon. and the American name is helpless frog on back after eating Taco Bell. And the coda is, I'm sorry, Beth, you can't take class here anymore.
Oh, poor Beth. She is a Beth, I can tell.
And if you got that popcorn just now, well, not only did you enjoy that wonderful show, but you also had a little snack during it. Although I'd save that popcorn if I were you, because we have another long joke coming up now. Here's where we get into spot number 1 for both of these respective countdowns. My favorite comedian, I think, from Ujokes Season 2, it was almost going to be colinmochrie, but there's no use in beating dannywoodburn. And his also pretty long joke, much longer than David Willis's joke, and so many more mini jokes squeezed into one for the game of supervillain, where maybe you remember this pick as well, but there's a hand with a face on it, and the hand's fingers all have little mini hands sprouting on top of them. And if that does not make any sense, well, talk to Jonathan's producer, Josh, who is responsible for these picks. But anyway, this was Danny's joke.
This is, and this is a hyphenate, Handsome Jack Palmer. Handsome Jack is inventor of the Mega Bitch Slap and the High 25. He has the ability to hitchhike in 5 different directions, and he's angry. You know, all villains have that story where they're angry about something. So yes. He was a street performer, and it was a lousy job. He was a one-man audience for a one-man band. And he's really upset because he was born a lefty, and if you look, no left hands.
No, oh my gosh!
Just a tragedy. Just a tragedy.
Yeah, pretty hard to beat that kind of a joke from Danny. So fantastic stuff from him. Just like how there's also no use, audience-wise, beating out this joke from Josh Begley. He was the last show's best for episode 35, and he got to play on Ujokes for the second time, which I found to be pretty amazing. Part of that, Ujokes 2-timers club that I may have mentioned a couple of times before. And he had my favorite audience joke from Ujokes Season 2. This was from the game of Inspirational Poster, with the picture of a cat walking away from an explosion. And he actually does repeat this cat pun later on, so I apologize if it somehow loses its effect. But this was a perfect joke from Josh.
Yeah, I think, Jonathan, this says, perseverance. Keep looking forward, because hindsight is literally the year 2020.
I mean, it's like Jonathan says at times. There are a lot of moments where the audience is able to beat the comedic professionals. Seriously, if you've been watching at least the past couple of episodes of Ujokes, or even since the very beginning for that matter, you know the audience is almost always on fire. They tend to dominate more than you would think. So shout out to my top 5 favorite Ujokes comedians from Season 2, Brad Sherwood, Aarondouglas, debramcgrath, colinmochrie, and davidwillis. And for my top 5 favorite audience jokes from Season 2, once again shout out to April, Jess, Randy Ferguson, Davidwillis, and Josh Begley. And I cannot wait for the next Ujokes show coming up on Monday, November 30th, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Facebook for the next Ujokes show. And until then, don't forget to stay connected with me on Twitter, Instagram, Spreaker, Spotify, YouTube, and now iHeartRadio. The account links are all in the description. Thanks again for listening, and well, bye for now, Ujokes fans. See ya!